Hey everybody, I'm Steph.
Hi, Michael.
Today we are coming at you with our games we are not going to stream part 3.
Right.
We
We're going to stream them right now. But we won't
we're
play
gonna talk
them.
about them
We
right
won't
now.
play them on camera.
We won't do a full live play and teach of these games that
Right.
we're about to say.
And as we have mentioned before on our stream, when we've done this in the past, these are not necessarily bad games. A lot of times people will say, "Oh, this is the video of all of the games they hated." That is not necessarily true. It is true that maybe it wasn't good for Steph or myself, but maybe the other one of us liked it. But ultimately, it did not go on stream because of that. Or maybe it's a one playthrough sort of thing, like an adventure game, an exit type of game, an escape room sort of game that you play once and then it's all spoilered. And so we're not going to play that on the stream in its entirety for you. So we tell you what they are here. Um, and to be honest, to be fair,
To be fair.
to be fair, we play, we get a lot of games uh, from convention flea markets, virtual flea markets, from people who are selling on Board Game Geek. And so we get not only the review copies, but we get a lot of games that are like, oh, hey, this looks interesting. We've never played it before. Let's play it. And there's like, oh, yeah, I don't think.
This is why nobody's ever heard of it.
And this is, yeah, this is an okay game. And some of these games are just okay, but they're not review copies. And so we're not under a pressure to uh, to show these on camera. And so it's like, hey, you want to show this on stream? And we got a whole couch full of games anyway, and we
Billy
just don't
before.
stream them. We don't stream them all. So if you
Yeah.
can't stream them all, then that's what happens.
And if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure to subscribe, follow, whatever, and then join us on Twitch for the games that we do decide to stream.
Exactly. So this is not a comprehensive list of every game because there are some games that we haven't done this video since late October,
Late
I think.
October.
So games that we played in November,
forgotten about or whatever.
maybe we've already sold it off.
Maybe it's already on the shelf or whatever.
And
We just pulled a whole bunch that were just not.
we
gonna
pulled the
stream.
ones that we saw from the sale pile, from the shelves, from wherever where they've been stashed,
that we could think of.
that we could think of. So let's go ahead and start. Hey, why not from the end? From the Z's, not from the A's, because I mean, I have a last name of an A. We always got to go first. I felt bad for the people with the last name starting with Z, and they never did get to go first. I mean, you're close to the front,
Yep.
being in an H.
Yeah. It's
So
pretty
yeah.
close. Yeah.
So we played Zany Penguins during our New Year's game day.
Yeah.
Because we play all of the games from A to Z, and here's the catch: we do it in one day. So James and Susan came over. We played a bunch of games. Oh, that's another reason why we might not show a game on camera. Some games take 3 or 4 players or play best with 3 or 4 players. We don't have 3 people here all the time, so we won't be showing those on stream either. Anyway, back to this. Zany Penguins. This is a Bruno Cathala game.
I actually really like it.
So, and it plays 2 to 5 players in 20 minutes. I can't imagine how good this would play with 2 players, though.
Probably not.
That's the catch, is that this has mechanics of set collection, area control, and bluffing. So you've got these penguins in different colors, and you're basically bluffing with the cards that you are playing and putting them into different sets. You've got a blue penguin set and a yellow penguin set and a black penguin set and a green penguin set. And you want to have the most of one type of penguin. There are some penguins that have certain abilities and some that'll let you play 2 cards and reveal because you don't want to play, what is it? You don't want to play lower than of the same. I can't quite
There's a
remember.
7 that will kill cards,
Right.
or smaller cards that will kill 7s or something, and then there's bombs and there's there's spies where you can just wait it out.
It reminds me of the Madagascar penguins,
Yeah,
for real.
they're super
So,
cute.
the back of the card has this. It's just a black, the black penguin. Um, but they and there's mechanisms where you're passing cards to one side or another. Anyway, it's cute, but ultimately this is not a review game, and so since I can't imagine it will play good with two, we decided, hey, this is not on the stream pile.
But it's so cute.
It is very cute. Oh, it's from Bombix, I should mention,
Yeah.
and it's really fast, 20 minutes. So anyway,
It came out like, when did it come? I want to say like 2017 or something, 2015 maybe. I don't know.
uh,
So it's been out a while, but it probably, I don't think you can really get it in the States. I mean, it's kind of hard. It's rare. It's on the
Bombix is
rare side.
Asmodee, so yeah, not easy to find, I am sure. I was trying to, oh, with two players, you play in a four-player configuration with two virtual players. So yeah, this would not have played well on stream with
Time
two
roller.
players.
It wouldn't, just because you have to go through the whole rules and then you have to play it.
Exactly. But at least you guys get to know about it by watching this video, right? So, we have from, okay, I got to say this. Everybody, tell me what this publisher name is right here. What is this publisher name? Is that Muse?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what it's supposed to. That's supposed to be.
it is.
Yeah, Dan knows. Amusement.
So yeah, Dan knows what it
Meant.
is, but who knows that's amusement?
Nobody
Nobody.
except Dan.
Nobody. That yeah, that's
except
terrible.
Dan.
And Dan says, but that's still terribler. So Steph was going to put the publisher on some kind of post for NIMBY is the name of this game by Nick Case, and she's like, where is this Ament publisher? It's a Musement. Whatever this symbol is, it's supposed to be Muse. No, it's not a Latin character. It's whatever this is.
Yeah.
Dan says I figured it out, but I shouldn't have to figure it out. Yeah, Time Roller says, how do you search that on BGG? That's the point. It's not good. Publishers don't do that. On the back, it's the same logo. A Muse symbol meant.
It's bad.
It's bad. Anyway, this game is 2 to 4 players, takes 20 to 40 minutes, and each player is a worker honeybee.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
It's not a symbol that you would know. Anyway, in amusement, in NIMBY, you are circling around this hive. And playing with two players, it's sort of weird. You can take a step and activate something in the hive, or you can fly over everything in between you and the next space and take that in the hive. If you can get outside around the hive, then you can get one of the flowers that's around the field and then run back into the hive. And it's just basically a waiting game of chicken. Oh, there's a low card outside. I need to wait until Steph goes. Oh, I can't wait any longer. Oh, I'm stuck taking the bad card. Oh, and Steph gets the good card. Anyway,
it had a lot of problems for me.
And you can swap places with the queen, and you can. It's very abstract.
It's very basic, also.
And it's very basic. It just did not work for either of us. And that's NIMBY from A Squiggles Sign Men.
Dan has a lot of comments on amusement.
It is written as amusement on BGG, but you can't. How do you know it's amusement? How do you know what to look for? You don't. This is the guy who did Pilgrim, which should be arriving soon. Dr. Sign just looking. He also did the front nine, which I thought was meh. Oh, Time Roller Starship
Cried
Cabin showed up. Very cool. Next, we will talk about Embers of Memory. It's a Throne of Glass game. Now, this is a reskin of Ravens
of Three Shri,
Shiri.
which I actually quite enjoy that game a lot, and it's been on my shelf since it came out. It's a Japanese title.
A smaller box than this.
This is like a quarter of the size.
A quarter of the size of this box.
But this is for 2 players only.
2 players.
Actually, this is a great implementation of the game because
it is probably a better implementation of Ravens.
Yeah.
Because it walks you through.
Yeah.
Scenario by scenario.
Versus just throwing it all at you, right? So the rules, I'm like, so we're walking the first scenario is like, that's it, like what? And it's like, wait, there's more to this.
The tutorial is in 2 halves, and I'm like, is that 2 games or 1? Because they count as 2.
Exactly.
So
that it walks you through very, very slowly, adding 1 rule at a time.
And I love how they added just one rule at a time.
It actually works fairly.
It's this much harder and this much harder.
And I think it will grab more players with this type of game because you're kind of going through scenarios and you play around and then you can play another round or not. You can stop.
So
interesting.
One person is the imprisoned princess, and the other player is the wolf that is sitting there in front of her to guard her, but also looking over her, and eventually decides to not hold the princess hostage anymore. And it is co-op. So Steph, clearly princess. Me, clearly wolf.
No, I want to play the boy role. I never get to play the boy role. It's like I'm always watching the puzzle unfold in front of me. I'm like, I want to do things. So maybe you would like trying the other role because it's a totally different.
It's a totally different experience because it's not just asymmetric powers, it's asymmetric actions, completely different. I am placing cards into. I'm placing the cards into the memories, and no, I'm placing them into the rows. You're placing them in the memories or something into the center.
You place them into the center.
I place it into the center, and you take the ones from the center and place them into rows.
Yeah,
it's really interesting how it works. The reason why we're not going to stream it is because we played through the entire thing. We played, including the last scenario. We didn't win the last scenario, but we were 1 card away, and we said, we know how this ends. We would just keep, banging our heads against this until we finally win. And neither of us felt like we had to do it.
Yeah.
So, but it was fun enough to play, 9 games of it?
Yeah, we played through it all in one go. And now you could just play the full game and call it done. You play 1 game, not the whole thing.
But I liked the ramp up. So anyway.
Yeah.
Heroic says, I like Ravens of 3 Sahasri.
Yeah.
This is that.
The remake that Osprey did.
Embers of Memory, a Throne of Glass game.
Yep.
And the writing is not trite and horrible. It's actually, it's okay. I enjoyed the story that went with it. It's not necessary, but I actually enjoyed it. But
you just don't think we'll stream it.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's why it's on this video. Let's move on to a catastrophe of a game. Catastrophe, a game of 9 lives. This is another one that we played.
It has super cute artwork.
On our A to Z New Year's Day thing. 2 to 6 players, 30 to 45 minutes from.
I don't think we played this.
Oh, we didn't, but we played it with James and Susan.
Yeah,
we did play it at game night. Yeah. Oh, got you. From Original Sasquatch. So, look how cute. Scott Ferrier.
I know. Where is he?
Where are you?
This is the cute cat.
This has all the cats.
I mean, in space.
I mean
it's all sorts of cats.
With donuts. Cats with donuts.
Anyway, this game was designed for Scott Ferrier to go, oh.
So cats have 9 lives. So the cats are going to be on this 9 lives track. And who is on the bottom but Satan, waiting for the cats to drop down.
Obviously.
Satan is going to be rising up the little cat pole, and the cats are going to be falling off the cat pole. So I'm going to play a card from my hand. There's a lot of take that and like or blocking of stuff. It's like, hey, I'm going to play this card on you.
Yeah,
Instead
you
of
can
it's
play any
like,
number of
no,
cards.
I'm going to block it,
Yeah.
or even worse, no, I'm going to redirect it to James or right back at you. And so there's a lot of take that, take that, take that.
You're trying to knock the lives down of other cats.
Right. And so it's just this fight to claw yourself literally to the top. And
in between, there's going to be the cat phase, like
which I
medieval
actually
cat.
thought was interesting.
They have like a lot of little dexterity games, like throw your die closest.
Not all dexterity.
It's mostly dexterity.
No, some of them are like who meows most like a cat, and then everybody votes. Or there was I like the one where you're trying to throw the card, trying to hit the dice off.
That's a dexterity.
That's dexterity. That one is. But there was another one. What's some of the other ones? Oh yeah, if I fits, I sits. That's where you throw the die in the box. But there are other ones as well that are not just dexterity, but they do have a healthy mix of little mini games.
Do I think it's needed? No.
No, but it's better than to take that.
I mean, most things are.
So
Dan says he can meow pretty well.
Yeah. So I meowed really well, and I didn't get it.
No, because you were winning. I'm not.
Because I was at the top, and I was not
I'm
voting.
not picking you.
No,
so
I would not have. I was at the top, and then I fell straight down, and it was over. So, needless to say, all of us pretty much lost this game.
And all the cats rejoiced because it was.
No, it was over. Thank goodness.
That was not a game for us.
Nope. So we will not be streaming Catastrophe. However, Scott Ferrier needs to see it. Amy-itis, an older game from Istari. This is from 2007.
This is on the better half of the games I've learned.
This really is. It's 2 to 4 players from 60 to 120 minutes.
But I really didn't love it.
So in Amy-itis, you are irrigating this area, this pyramid-shaped area. And if you irrigate the area, then you can get points. If you place a garden, you're making the hanging gardens, basically. And if you place a garden, then you're going to get some points. And it is just a super dry Euro with resources and a couple of tracks at the top that will give you market things. And when the track fills up, it's got an area control mechanic. You can see where a lot of the older Euro stuff, all of those older Euro influences are really showing through in Amy-itis. That said, it was not a bad game. Excuse me, not a bad game, but it's not a review game, obviously, from 2007. Just wasn't a game that we felt that we had to stream.
That's it. I'm happy we learned it, and that's probably a one and done.
No other thoughts? And that's it.
I mean, there's not much to say.
I know you have thoughts.
Worth trying.
It was. I think it's totally worth trying.
I'm not upset that I played it.
Yeah, we picked that up from a flea market, and yeah, totally not upset.
Something.
Yeah, inflammation of the AV. Yep, anything itis is inflammation of appendicitis, pancreatitis. Yeah. I know you got things to say about Struggle for Catan, the card game. The Struggle for Catan card game. You thought that this was Rivals for Catan, that it was identical to that, and then you went, no, this is not.
I've played Rivals before.
Right, and so you thought that it might be, but it's not.
Right, because it plays 2 to 4. You can play with more people.
Yes, this does play 2 to 4, and it says around 30 minutes.
I don't love the stealing. Like I build something and then he steals it away from me. I don't love that mechanic ever.
So there's limited amounts of
So
soldiers or whatever.
yeah, so
And,
once it's
and
running,
if there's none left in the inventory, where does it come from? The other
it's
players.
bad. So I don't love that. The resource management is very much like Catan, and you're building up these things, which I actually thought it did
Buying buildings, the same as Catan.
fairly well. I mean, for the theme being Catan,
Just no map,
yeah, and that's fine.
and that's fine.
I thought the card game version of Catan worked fairly well. I did not love the stealing of the buildings and
Right.
such. So
So
I don't.
struggle, meaning it's basically going to be I pull card, you pull card, I pull card, you pull card all game. And that's where the struggle is.
It's very strugglish.
It's very tug of war ish until one person has enough victory points to
Like
go, yay!
points, yeah.
And then the other person says, yay, it's over. I liked it more than Steph did, but I didn't like it that much.
Yeah, I'd rather play Catan.
So there you have it. Struggle for Catan. And I actually recently had a bad Catan experience.
No,
Catan Rise of the Incas, I think it is.
Yeah.
That didn't show up on any of your
I
lists
didn't-
because you were back home for Christmas.
Yep,
And I was
and
playing
you were
with James
playing.
and Susan. I'm
Yep.
like, no, we stopped when it was clear everyone else was going to era 3 and I was stuck in era 1. It was that bad. And to the point that we quit, we had not rolled a single 8. And eventually it got so bad that we were starting to roll the dice over and over.
No dice in that one.
No, not in that, but over and over and over until we hit an 8. And it got to the point where it was so ridiculous. I started filming it and sent it to Steph. We hit on the 24th roll.
That's crazy.
We did not roll an 8 through the game, and then 24 rolls after the game. 24 after the game. Yeah, that shouldn't happen.
Let's do this one.
This is a good one. This
Yeah.
is a great one, actually.
We were playing this today.
We played this today.
First chapter.
The
of
first of 3.
Adventure Games, the Gloom City File,
And
the
it is
GCPD.
the GCPD, the Gloom City Police Department. What other famous GCPD is there?
Anyway, the theme is very much like Batman.
What?
There's a Joker on the loose.
There's a Joker on the loose.
Bloody smiles.
So yeah,
everywhere.
there's bloody smiles and there's the bad guy takes you as he gets everyone together from at the GCPD who has lost a loved one by this Joker type guy. He gets you all together at a mental asylum and you're searching this mental asylum, and it's really weird because it's like, I'll give you a little spoiler. If you don't want to hear it, turn it off for about 15 seconds. The boy has a history much like Batman. So it's really weird how you get those same sort of elements throughout this. Anyway, these adventure games are always a load of fun. You see it, we've got everything. It's like everything's so full. Everything's bagged and in certain piles. We are going to finish this to its completion because I am really interested in playing this again.
That's good. I'm glad.
Why does this have... Now, this I don't understand. Replayability. 3 circles. How is this replayable? You already know everything. I don't agree with the replayability. But that being said, you could get someone else to play it again. It doesn't make you destroy things. So
we like that versus the exit game.
Stolen ideas can't be copyrighted. Fight me. Different endings. Maybe it is.
We don't know.
Different endings. I don't know.
Keep going. Let's
keep going. From Pythagoras Games, Lusitania. They did a remake of it called Lusitania XXI. 21, I guess. Lusitania 21. In Lusitania 21, you have your army. It's from 0 to 8 numerically. You're going to have your commander in slot 0, and then you're going to put commanders from 1 to 7 based on the cards that are here. You can, if you start on having a red army, you must have a red army. You can't have yellow flag soldiers, blue flag soldiers, black flag soldiers, green flag soldiers. No, you can't have black. You can't have any of the colored flag soldiers.
Yeah, if you've already started.
Right. So this is how the game goes basically. I've got 3 cards in hand. I don't have any of my colors. There's no colors of mine in the market. I lose a half a point. I draw a card. Nope, that wasn't mine either. Next. And it's a race to 21. So it was a rather miserable experience. I have loved every one of Pythagoras' other games.
This one was a mess.
This one, I'm sorry, Pythagoras. This was not good.
Pythagoras' games in general, so I will still want to try them. Yeah, and
You too.
This one was a bit luck based and just.
It was,
I don't like race games in general, so
Yeah,
it
it
just
was
it wasn't great for me.
race to a certain number of points. You only have 3 cards in hand, and in order to cycle anything, you basically just have to discard a card, and it's a half-point loss, which counts against you on the race to 21 points. I was up to 20 and lost 21 to 16. I lost 4 points just looking for the last card I needed. And if I had gotten the last card I needed, it wouldn't have been enough to get me to 21.
Because you had negative points.
And you can't get rid of the cards in your army. I wash my hands of it. It's not good.
That's fair. Bree, you missed these games right here.
You missed these games, which we will not stream. And we're continuing.
Over there.
Would you say
Small ones.
Small ones. On real estate. Another one we played on our A to Z night.
This was the first real major bummer of the year.
It was early to be fair.
Though nothing, I don't think we've played a worse game this year.
Wow.
This one was.
This is from Grand Gamers Guild. It was not a review copy, I don't believe, was it?
No.
No, this is one we picked up.
Yeah, I got it.
It's not old. It's 2017.
Old.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, Grand Gamers Guild has gotten way better with their game.
They really have.
This was like their first game or something. That's what like. But so the game wouldn't be as bad if it weren't for some of the events that were like just kill everything in the like. All right, the game is very simple. You draft a card. You know,
there's some broken mechanics.
You could buy a castle and you get to score some sort of points.
Everyone drafts a card, and the ones that are left go into this thing where you can
holding area.
A holding area, right? And if I want to sell all of my 3s, I sell my 3s times the 3s in the holding area, and then all the 3s are gone. Well, Steph's sitting there holding a couple 3s, and she's like.
Yeah, and then he goes because then he takes it. Or even worse, there's like this event that comes out, and I'm sitting there.
And it wants everything.
Was collecting ones. I'm like waiting for the ones over in the holding area to get like sort of worth something because my ones. I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna win. I have no points, and they have all like 30 points. And so then this event comes up and clears the whole holding area. I'm like,
okay,
what even is that? That is like the worst thing.
When the holding area gets cleared, there's nothing to buy, so you're drafting. So if you're drafting, only one card goes to the holding area, which means people are drafting, except for the one person who might have one card from the holding area, if they want to do it that cheap.
It's already so.
The mechanics are so broken.
It's already so slow for the cards to build up in the holding area, and then for that one event just to clear everything is like.
Right.
I don't know. I just had so many problems. But we played it. It was you.
It was you.
It was you.
And we played our U game, and that was it.
Time Roller wants the Time Roller.
You had me at worst game.
If you want to pay for shipping, it's yours.
Eminent Domain Battle Cruisers. I like Eminent Domain.
I I like Eminent Domain Battle Cruisers.
I've actually we've got Eminent Domain up here
I'm like
with
one person who likes this game.
with expansions. You actually like this game.
I like the game. Because
Um,
I like pushing my luck, taking my chances.
I also like pushing my luck, but you know what? I don't even remember why I don't remember if I like this or not. Anyway, it's TMG. Rest in peace. 3 to 5 players, so there's no way we could stream it. And it's a quick 20-minute playtime. The reason why it's sitting up like this is because every card in here is sleeved. I don't think I like this. Oh, I know what the no, I know. I know why I didn't like this. So everybody has the same 7 cards.
Yeah.
It's not always the same game because there's like 40 cards that you can have, but you're going to start off with the same 7. And so it makes every game different. 1 card goes in your discard pile. If my card that I put in the discard pile is the super awesome card of the 7, I'm just screwed if I have no way to go back in my discard pile. And so you all put a card in secret. You all reveal it. Are there any ties? Oh, look, James and I tied. Neither of ours take effect. James and Steph and Susan, what are you going to do to us? And they could steal cards. They could do whatever.
It's whatever the card says.
It's whatever the card says.
Picks a card at the same time. And you kind of know what people have out in play or what they played last time, so you might select that because Michael played it last time, so maybe I select it.
And I either won or I came close to winning. I can't remember, but I just was not for me.
It's fine. I don't expect every game.
But I do like Eminent Domain. If you find a copy of it, I recommend playing it.
Every group I've ever played this with has not liked it.
Oh, you have experience with people not liking it.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
That's why I didn't own it. And then
that's why it was on the bubble shelf.
It was over there because this was Rainer's copy, so I ended up getting it again because Rainer. I'm like,
right.
We should just give it.
We should play it.
And so we did.
So I did.
And it didn't go over again. So
guess what?
It's gonna get sold.
It's not gonna be on my top 10 of January, probably.
I would be surprised if it was, but we've played some not so great games.
Yes, we have. All right. Steph has a problem with Japanese games.
I don't have
Let's just say that.
I just like them.
That's what I mean. She has the problem with liking them and buying them, and they turn out to be horrible.
This wasn't that bad. I actually liked it. This was on the better half of the month. Like this month.
I thought you didn't like it's strictly a 2-player game. It's called Master of Respect, I think.
Yeah, Orthodox, blah, blah, blah.
Orthodox.
I put it in a little paper.
Oh, you did. Master of Respect, Orthodox versus Heresy. So, the 2 players are playing 2 different martial arts schools. One of them being Orthodox, the other one being Heresy. And you basically, there's absolutely no randomness to this. You basically choose something and pay resources to get another tile, to pay resources to get another tile. And that was my problem with it, is that it's basically I'm feeding in widgets to spit something out at the other end. It was a widget factory in the form of either alcohol or money in order to get those 2 resources.
Yeah, I mean, it's a resource.
In order to get respect one way or another.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much going on.
It's really not.
But it works as a game. It's fine.
But there's 0 randomness. And so you end up with this programmatic.
Yeah.
I do A and B and C, and it doesn't really matter what you do because I'm going to go ahead and get these things. The only interaction is, oh, hey, I took this tile before you got it. And once you get it, you can't lose it. And
all right, Michael didn't like it. I didn't really care for it, but I'm glad I tried it. So
that's why we show these to you.
We know you don't care for Japanese games, but I still like playing them because
Bree had to import.
They They are very different. Yeah,
Friend.
they are.
She says, Bree says, Steph, one of my favorite games is a weird Japanese title called Hell Token Remote Control Robot.
Never heard of it.
Heroic Logic said, Eminent Domain, very good. A keeper among my deck builders. Mine too.
You can see it.
It's right here.
Yep.
It's definitely a keeper for me.
It's a cool game.
All right.
We're going right to the bottom of the stack.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and knock this out. All right. I will preface this by saying I love Lucky Duck games. I love everything that they do for the most part. I read through the rule book of Oros and I said I looked up, Dan and Steph were here, and I said this game is not for me. And I got up and left and did not play it. So it was not on my list because I've never played this one.
Yep. So Dan and I played it, and
it's very abstract, which is why I didn't play.
Yeah, it's definitely not a Michael game.
This is Oreos. Oh, no, eat it. Oh, that's
So when you play 2 players, you also need to have the Atama work in your favor. So when Dan and I played, we had the third bot player going, which was actually not bad, and we could figure it out. So that worked. But there's just kind of a lot going on in this game for me, and it's certainly not a Michael game. There are different tracks that you will try and bump up, which I always love a track system. I didn't end up using 2 of the 5 tracks the whole game.
So the cool thing about this is, for those who like abstract type games, is when things move around, when they move off the edge, they'll come back onto the other edge. When they go off this edge over here, they go around, because this is like a world.
Yeah, so you're like manipulating these islands
to come the landforms. Yeah.
Yeah,
to make bigger ones.
Yeah, to create a volcano so you can create temples. Yeah.
And you've each got tracks and stuff to work up, which is actually something that is cool. But abstract gameplay is not for me, so I noped out of it super quick. That said, if this is your jam, then this may be right up your alley. But since I didn't play it,
we won't be
streaming it. But super high quality tiles. Are these deluxe resources?
No, I think they're just regular.
Are they standard? Bree, are these deluxe resources? Because these are the volcano tiles and everything, and they are nice wooden tiles. So those are standard. So if you get this game, these wooden bits are in the standard version. And so all the different player tokens, if these all come in the standard version, that's super awesome, because yeah. Anyway, as always, the craftsmanship is super on point in Oros.
Oreos.
Oreos. So if you dig abstract games, this is probably going to be a hit for you. Oreos. Oh, Bree says that is the retail version for sure.
Nice.
And it's retail tomorrow? Well, I'm actually glad I showed it now. And like I say, these games are not all bad. Sometimes they're just not for one or the other of us, and this one wasn't for me. But I'm glad I actually get to show it now that I know that it's coming out on retail tomorrow. You're going to make room for more games? You got to. Moving on to Catherine, The Cities of the Tsarina.
Now, this is one we should have shown.
By Capstone Games. We played this. I didn't care for it. Steph said, well, at least we can stream it. I'm like, yeah, okay, maybe we can stream it. So then she played it again at Cabin Con in mid-January. And I guess she enjoyed it. I had the opportunity to play it, and I said nope.
He doesn't like to play games more than once unless he has to on stream.
Not exactly true,
Unless it's like
but not
Mosaic.
exactly false. The gameplay for this one was a bit scattered for me, and when I tried to relearn it from the rulebook, I encountered the same problems that that Steph and Dan and I had the first time we went through the rulebook. I got frustrated and said, "No, we're not streaming it." So we're not streaming it.
It has some cool, interesting card selection. Like you have to activate your cards, so you want to get the same colors. So and then picking and choosing which cards you want to possibly activate because some of them have cool powers, but you're gonna have to spend cards to activate actions. So you're spending cards. And you're gonna spend cards to activate your actions. So there's like you're discarding cards for your actions. You might be playing cards. So you're the amount of cards that you actually get to activate are very little in comparison to the cards that you're managing in your hand. So you look at everything, you're like everything looks really good. I want to play everything, but you have to pick and choose. So I like that kind of management system with your hand of cards.
A top action and a bottom action. Again, the dual use cards. We talked about that earlier tonight on one of our other games that we were talking about. And I generally like that. There is an aspect of area control that I just didn't care for in this game, where if you've got two cities over here and two cities over here and one city in the middle, and you can't get a way to put one of your houses on this middle city, you lose out on all those points. And for me, that it pretty much broke the game for me. I'm like, and I think I did well on this game. Just didn't care for it.
It's fair. I like it, but ultimately I'll play it at whenever it shows up at a different con at some time, and I'll be happy playing it on the occasion.
Tom Rolla says that he and you will have a stack for y'all to play at BGG-Con.
Oh, you're going to BGG-Con, Tom?
That is awesome. We will love to play a game with you, or mini games with you.
Yeah.
Several games with you.
Come to BGG-Con.
All right. Lovelace and Babbage from Artana.
Yep.
2 to 4 players, plays in 15 to 30 minutes. This is a real-time game.
Yeah, you have to do math on the fly. I actually didn't hate it.
I know the Scott Holmes game.
Yeah.
So Lovelace and Babbage made the first computer difference engine sort of thing. You've got a board that looks, it's really hard to describe. You got a board that looks like this, that you're coming up and you're saying, okay, if my number starts at 50 and I do a minus A1 action, it's down to 49. Or if I did a minus A3 action, I go down to minus 5 from that, that's a 44. And so you're programming to hit certain target numbers before the other player does, putting them all on your little calculation thing right here. And I like math. I think math is fine.
It's cute, Bree. I think try it. I'm glad we played it. This is probably in the upper half of the games I've learned this month.
Not for me.
But it's probably a one and done situation.
You're if you get to the number within on your second move and someone else gets it on the third move, well, they're not going to be able to get all the good points for it. You're going to snatch up the points and you're going to collect the cards for it. You're doing a set collection sort of aspect. And it's fine. There are many other games that do it better, I think.
Time Miller, 2 to 4 players.
It is unique, though, with the math aspect.
It looks like the math portion of Outpost. The math portion of Outpost is way more hard.
I mean,
it's way harder because you have to like sit there and like, okay, I need to get this much, and then it's a lot.
The math portion of it was actually fine for me. I enjoy the code breaking sort of aspect of that. and the real time. I just feel really bad when, oh, hey, I'm done, and then other people are sitting there waiting. Um, it's just that's not fun for me. The set collection was not fun for me because if someone snipes it, yeah, too bad. You don't get what you want.
Yeah, there's no way I'm
Eh.
playing this with Dan. He would just like cream me. He'd be like, 20 million points. And I'd be like, yeah,
Two of the players in my game group are math teachers. I mean,
about that.
but it's not really.
So you might like it. They might
But
like
that's the thing,
this.
though. It's not hard math.
It's not hard math, no, but it's you still have limited time to make the right accusations to get the things.
Yeah.
So they can probably spot the patterns better and faster.
I'm spotting the pattern just fine.
Yeah,
It's just
they didn't. So
I just
I was trying to be optimal, and you don't have time to.
you don't have time to be optimal.
So
That's the
you
thing.
just
And I was just throwing down. Oh, I'm going to hit this, this, and this with these three calculations. The one thing that this does do, if you use the bigger numbers in your calculations, not the A row or the B row, because those are sort of basic, but if you use the bigger, 2-digit numbers in your calculations, like if you tried to divide something by 18 and you hit something that hit your number, just discarding the remainder, then they give you an incentive for doing that in the form of bonus points. And that's where Steph was trying to optimize everything to get the biggest amount of bonus points, and you just don't have time to do that. And so I felt bad, it's like, oh, hey, I'm done, and she's no.
yeah.
It's fine. The math calculations are fine, but I just
It's different.
it is different. It is unique. So certainly worth checking out if you
If you already own it, Bree, just play it.
absolutely. Did we tell Timerler how many players?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, okay, good. Oh yeah. Oh boy. Mythic Mischief. This is the deluxe set that we have. It plays 1 to 4 players. And the playtime is 45 to 90 minutes. I don't think it's anywhere near 90 minutes. This is played on a fairly abstract 5x5 grid. This deluxe version has it where you can play a tournament mode where it's actually got basically 2 full sets in it. So we are basically a type of monster like a vampire or a ghost or a witch or a troll.
The theme, I think it's
the theme is
super cute.
fantastic.
I think they did a top-notch production. I think it's amazing. I love it.
Yeah. You are trying to steal tomes in the library, and the tome keeper is trying to catch you as a student going through the halls trying to get your magical tomes. So the tomes can be used to boost up your powers on your player mats. Every type of group can do something different. I think you had the wizards and you could teleport everywhere. And I had the vampires. I could lure things and I can vanish behind a wall, moving a wall around me to keep the tome master away from me. So there are two ways that this game falls apart. One is the rules. They are a mess. They don't quite describe what they mean when they are talking about luring things to another square. They say, "Oh, hey, you can do this at unlimited distance as long as you can see the other party."
Well, what does C mean?
Okay, there's no line of sight rules. Do you mean specifically on the horizontal or the diagonal? And indeed, that is what they mean. I was one row down and 5 columns over. I had clear line of sight, but And I thought, oh, according to the rules, I can do it. No, looked on BGG. No, you can't do it. Here's, even if the rules were fine, though, here's where the game falls apart for at least me and Steph. It is a race to 10 points or
Which I
until
never liked.
the day is over, before lunch and after lunch. And how do you get points? Here's the thing. You have
the other kids in trouble.
You have to get the other kids in trouble. Here, you go in the line of the tome master. Oh, hey, the tome master goes 4 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4. I took 2 of your guys out. Yay, I get 2 points. Nobody likes that.
It is.
Nobody likes that.
Very abstract. I mean, it is basically a chessboard, and you're moving these.
Well, it's like 5x5 chess.
Yeah, exactly. It's a small board where you're trying to force your opponents into corners and such. Yes, Heroic Logic said, I think this is well regarded. It does have a very high rating on BGG.
It has a very high rating.
I think it did very well on GameFound. People like Moonrakers a lot, and they like the production. A lot of people love the production of this and Moonrakers and all that stuff. So yeah, they already had a good reputation of being a company to make games with quality,
good quality component.
Yeah, games. And it is definitely that.
However, this is a huge miss for me.
Yeah, I get why people will like this if you like that kind of manipulation of, in an abstract game of trying to figure out the puzzle of getting your opponent into bad situations. I do wish there were other ways to score points other than putting, I wish that was one way of scoring points. I wish there was other ways of scoring points, like collecting all your books gets you a point.
Right.
Once
you've collected your books, there's nothing to do but get the other kids caught.
Yeah, I mean, so the books will give you upgraded powers, and it will help boost your abilities.
Razors and snitches get stitches.
That's exactly correct.
So, all right. I was the vampires. Steph was the wizards, and Steph can go. This is bad. Steph goes right where the tome master is going to go, and I'm going to switch spaces with you. So hey, now you are going to be the one who gets got, and then poof, I teleport all the way across the map. I was like, okay, fine. That's how you want to play it. I boosted my vampire's speed all the way to the top. And I moved a couple of walls around. And I tranced her characters to move right in the path of the lore master. And then I ran all my guys to the opposite side of the map and just stood there. And Steph said, yeah, we're done.
Well, we actually finished the game.
We did finish it. And that was near the end.
I think the end score was you had 5.
It was 5 to 4.
Yeah.
We never got to 10. We played out the full before lunch and after lunch.
Clear until halfway through before lunch that I was really supposed to get you into the paths of the Tome Keeper. So I wasn't actively trying to do that in the first half of the game until I was like, oh,
you have to get them in trouble.
My books. Now I guess I have to do that. Okay.
But that was the entire part of the game. And here's the thing, when I had lower movement, I couldn't get you. I could not get you at all. And you weren't focused on getting me.
I saw a lot of threads on BGG about the vampires and how that's the first thing you have to do is get your speed all the way up.
And I did.
And that's a vampire strategy right there.
But I got a whopping 5 points because it's so hard to get the wizards in the way because you can just poof, one of my guys is gone. Anyway, I was hopeful. I like the theme.
Yeah, I like the theme a lot.
But abstract plus getting the other player just doesn't, take that doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
Take that plus abstract equals nothing.
Sure.
It's super high quality. Look at this double layer player boards where the dice go in here.
I love the kids and stuff are in these little cool trays. I mean, it's nice, right? I mean,
with minis that each mini is different. All of these
all of the minis.
All of the minis are different
for each faction. This is the wizard set. So
All of the dice colors are different. I mean, it's
I think
high
it's super,
quality.
I think it's super cute. But
Yeah, I was hopeful. I was super hopeful. Um, yeah. Yeah, I am not much for being a bully. I got bullied as a kid. I don't like doing it as an adult. So
Shano.
Clyde says seems like this would be best at 2-player.
Shano, message me.
I think you have to play 2-player. If you play 3 or 4-player, you have to have another board. I think I don't remember. What?
Nothing. Next game.
Next game. Okay. Robin Hood and the Merry Men from Final Frontier Games. Um, there have been so many Robin Hood games recently. There's just been a huge mess of them recently, and you bought every one of them.
I really like the theme of Robin Hood. So
You ended up acquiring
Yes.
every Robin Hood game that I think has ever come out.
I still haven't played them. There's some that I
There,
haven't played.
which is why we grabbed this off the unplayed shelf one day and said, "Hey,
Let's play.
let's give this a shot."
It's a big rule book. There's so much. Talk about games like on Kickstarter or whatever that just have too much going on. This has
This is one
Too
of those
much
games
going
where
on.
there's too much going on.
way too much going on.
There's one area in the game. So it's basically you're sending your merry men out to do things, whatever the things are that need to be doing. Then after you go and you send your 3 merry men out. Then you turn over an event card, and Prince John or the sheriff or somebody else will come and make bad stuff happen and potentially get your people imprisoned or potentially do whatever. This can be played either competitive or cooperatively. We decided to play cooperatively. Unfortunately, it didn't help. You can put roadblocks in front of the roads in order to slow down the carriages bringing in tax money from the 4 directions, right? If you put a roadblock down, you can end up stealing from those carriages at some point and then giving the money back. But here's the catch. If Prince John comes out to that location, he is going to get coins from the carriage equal to the number of roadblocks that you put in front of it. Well, why do the roadblocks? You're just going to lose more coins. Well, okay. Let's say you should instead go steal the coins from the carriages, taking an action to do that. But you have to have specific colored dice that you must have drafted in advance with more of your merry men. And it's a chance that you'll get it and a chance that you don't. But let's say you do. You're going to turn that carriage on its side. Well, you turn too many carriages on its side and up go the taxes and more money gets taken. It's almost like, why bother? And then I had a character that was good at busting people out of prison. Okay, fine. I'm going to wait for people to get busted out of prison. Nobody got put in prison. The game just attacked our coins and we're like, this is just not fun. And there was one spot on the board. Steph was like, why is this spot even here? It's like an archery contest. Why is this spot?
It's a pity action.
It's a pity action.
Basically.
That's all it is. I got
action.
nothing else I can do because I didn't get any dice that matched any of these carriages on the road. And there's nobody in prison. And there's nobody here that I need to do anything. There's nobody to break out of prison. There's nothing I can do. I go to the pity action. And I did that twice in the 3 rounds that I had.
For the most part, I think it had some interesting ideas. Like, I like the hand management and choosing which actions to do with your cards. And if you're saving it for a better action later or the second action at the end, that's fine. There's just too many locations. And the game, I thought was going to be out to get us, but maybe we were just on the move too much that they did never really got us because they didn't put us in jail once. But
Right.
like to set a trap and to set on the road or at the campsite is just like
To set a trap for
so
the guard,
much work.
set a trap for the
It's
guard,
so much
or
work.
set a roadblock for the carriages. Oh, they didn't block my carriage. Too darn bad. Oh, the guard didn't hit my trap. Too darn bad.
Yeah.
And in a competitive game, I'd be like, this sucks. It's randomly not hitting my stuff.
It looks good because the art is by the Miko.
Yes.
I love his artwork.
1000%.
Always love his
The
artwork.
art looks fantastic.
So,
The art on the board looks fantastic. I mean, the game itself looks fine.
Yeah.
However,
it's just much.
Yep.
It's much.
So there's some tracks that you go up. And this is respect. If you can manage to catch a guard in your trap, you go up. If you manage to rob a carriage, you go up. But you got to get lucky for any of this stuff to happen.
Right.
And we were not having fun co-op. I can't imagine how it's going to be if you're playing it competitively and your stuff randomly doesn't get hit.
Yeah.
I had high hopes.
Any
Steph
case,
really had high hopes.
We tried it. I had been wanting to play this since I saw it at Essen that first year, so anyway.
Heroic Logic said, good Lord, there are a huge number of Robin Hood board games.
Yes.
Dan said, next hot game theme, raccoons. You heard it here first. Before Robin Hood, it was bees.
There's a lot of bees. I think Robin Hood was before bees.
Before?
Before. Cooler than Milk said, I liked it once we figured it out, but I never want to teach it with how much is going on. Agreed.
I've played games with that number of locations before.
Yeah, it's just there's a lot of nitpicky things.
You have to do so much to make one thing happen. And then if your thing doesn't get hit, what did I do all that stuff for? Oh, you can also go out on the Crusades. I forgot about that. Did you manage to get these things done?
But it's like okay, you have these 3 gold cards that you can't score unless you go on the Crusades, right? So it's like, is it even worth spending all those resources to go on the Crusade in order to score one of these cards? Which maybe not.
Hey, B&B Tabletop rated in with a party of 22. How you doing? We are going down our list of games we will not play on stream.
No, we're just talking about some games that we played recently, and that we're just not gonna end up streaming.
For one reason or another. They're not all bad games. Some of them are just 3-player games or escape room games or games that one or the other of us just did not gel with.
Yep. So welcome in, Raiders. Tell us what you've been playing. Have you been having a good night? We will continue on.
Yeah, Time Roller says, they were saying, Shanna was saying, what's the fuss about a bunch of hoods? And Time Roller says, it's a familiar childhood story. It latches on to nostalgia. It's so true. And that's why you tend to enjoy the Robin Hood games when they come out. Because I think you're a rogue at heart.
Totally.
Forced
I
to.
always like playing the rogue characters.
Yeah.
So I agree.
It's true. Moving on to this Hoochie game. And it is Wakanda. Not Wakanda Forever, but just Wakanda. In this game, you are. It is specifically a 2-player game.
Yeah.
It says 15 minutes on the box. We said, hey, okay, let's try it.
Sure.
On your turn, you can either place one of your totem pieces or claim one of the totems by putting your little piece on top. The totems are going to score based on the place that it's on and then the totems that are in the middle of the totem pole. It's very abstract. You claim something, the other player is going to claim. It's a game of chicken.
It's a game of chicken.
Oh, hey, I'm going to wait you out, and I'm going to put another thing on this. Oh, no, you took it. Well, I'm going to go take this one over here that you wanted to wait for.
There's not much going on.
There's not much going on.
It's luck based on the tiles that you draw. It's luck based on, how it all comes out at the end, and if like Michael's placed all of his caps and I still have a cap left, it's just like I get the rest basically.
Or you have to take the rest.
Yeah,
Sometimes the pole pieces are not what you want.
that's true. Could be
So
bad.
yeah, it could be bad. That's Wakanda.
We tried it. We tried it.
We try a lot of them. Now notice a lot of these, most of these that we showed, they're not review copies. They're just copies that we have played off the unplayed shelf that we needed to play off the unplayed shelf, which is why there's a lot of them on this episode.
Yeah, there's no dexterity in that one.
On that one, no. Moving on to Mess Machine from Quick Simple Fun Games.
This has a. I wonder if Tom would take it back if he played it again. I'm curious. It has a gold seal of approval.
It's just, yeah, so boom, there's Tom, the Dice Tower, gold seal of approval. Plays 2 to 4 players in about 30 minutes. So in Mess Machine, yeah, I just don't see how he enjoyed it.
We gave it a gold star, but sure,
So I'm
whatever.
gonna move this up here. So you've got this puzzle. It's a 4x4 puzzle, right? At the start of the game, this is going to be just randomly shuffled up. And you are going to basically say ahead of time, before the game even starts, which one of these actions will I take more? Meaning swap one space vertically, swap one space horizontally, or swap between the first, second, and third or fourth spaces horizontally or vertically. Choose of A, B, C, and D which one you think you are going to use the most, and then choose what you think your partner slash opponent is going to do the most. And you're going to get points for those and not much else.
Yeah.
I don't see how this got anything.
I mean, it like Clyde said, it was 7 years ago, and I get that. He's a newer, probably. Well, he was in his he was in his earlier reviewing stages, and so yeah,
So
there's been a billion games since then. So sure,
also
change, and that's why I'm curious if he were to go back and play it again, what his review would be of it today.
Also, yeah,
Situational. Obviously, if he's gonna play with his kids, he's gonna like it a little bit more.
2016. So he reviewed it right as it came out.
Yeah.
But even by 2016, he was well established.
No, he was well established.
But
it was still 7 years
to
ago.
be fair, 6 and 7 years ago, probably even further back than that, Tom had the reputation of not being critical enough about certain games.
Sure.
Until the Hawaii video came out where he
I can't believe that even still.
threw it in the trash and lit it on fire and whatever else, right?
It's a fantastic.
And now there is a geek list of games that Tom dislikes, and now it is quite full, as it should be. Every reviewer has games that they like and that they don't like. I don't see how this got on his list.
Yeah, the major problem is that it's cooperative but not.
Cooperative but not.
It's semi-cooperative, and that just doesn't work in this game. For me, I'm like, well,
and it's like, how do you know that maybe I play the A's and she doesn't play the A's, or maybe she waits me out until I play those. It just,
I didn't like it.
Yeah.
It wasn't the worst game I played this month, though.
It was close.
We still got some more.
Not many.
We still got some more.
Doodle Dungeon from Pegasus Spiel.
How cute it is, though.
So
it's cute.
I thought this was just fine. Steph hated it. Steph really hated it. So
I didn't like the. I didn't like how the card system works.
Let's explain it. In Doodle Dungeon, you are trying to draw a dungeon from upper left to lower right, in which your opponent has to send a knight through your dungeon, encountering traps and monsters along the way. Now,
yep.
Your opponent doesn't have to go fight the monsters, but hey, the monsters are where your treasure chests are located. They don't know where they are. They have to try to kill those monsters. Here's the catch. If those monsters are built up big enough and you don't kill the monster on the space where the treasure chest is, you might as well not have even gone into the dungeon. So you have 3 different monsters which you can place in your dungeon. And it's a drafting game. I love the drafting part. I'm sure Steph loves the drafting part.
I really build up, but then once you
Loves the
actually go
build-up.
through the dungeon, I hated it.
So, as you are collecting these things, you end up keeping the card for its text and drawing the thing that's on the card, or getting the bonus of what's on the card. There are 3 monsters: goblins, ogres, and dragons. What did I put into my dungeon? I put nothing but ogres if possible. And then I maxed the stats on one monster, ogres.
And I did the same with dragons.
Steph did the same with dragons, but dragons are harder to come by. There are
Sure.
far more ogres than there are dragons. So every time Steph hit an ogre, pow, she took 2 damage. And she went over many ogres on the map. Before she got halfway through my dungeon, her knight was dead. Hey, Chan Doggy, rating with a party of 5. What were y'all doing? We are talking about games that we will not stream on our stream. We're almost done with our wrap up, actually. Chan Raid. So, and I went through Steph's dungeon, and her dragons did not kill me. I usually had a card that would eliminate them. There's a couple of cards that are written sort of poorly, but ultimately Steph she liked the drafting. She did not like the
I couldn't get any cards to go into
synergize.
Nothing was going.
Nothing worked.
I didn't have enough cards to choose from. Maybe, I don't know. I had cards in my deck that I wanted to play, but they wouldn't come up at the right time, and then it was just everything was a mess.
So basically, all I had to do was make sure my knight survived and make sure your knight died, and that was pretty much it.
And that's what happened.
And
great conclusion to the otherwise enjoyable game. I liked building the dungeon. I liked drafting the cards. Oh.
And there's little stencils. Like if you have to draw an ogre face, there's a stencil for it. If you have to draw a little dragon face, there's a stencil for it. I like that. It's cute. Anyway, it plays 2 to 4 players in 45 to 60 minutes. It was okay. Not a keeper for me. I enjoyed it. Steph did not. And that's the last time we'll be playing that one.
It's true. I love
they played Crokinole. We love Crokinole.
We played that on stream.
Yep. Have we played that on stream?
During Dexterity Night, I think we did.
We did. I don't remember that.
I think we did.
Whoa.
Hey, thanks
for following, Chan Doggy. Little booger jumping. We need to change this to Senor Azul. Yeah, you do have a Crokinole board, and we've got a what do you call the game where it goes up and around and back? It's right there. I see it. I just don't know what it's called. Anyway, it's a long track divided down the middle, except the very end where your little puck that you slide, it ricochets off of 2 walls and comes back, trying to get it into certain zones. We have one of those boards as well.
I forgot what it's called.
I don't remember.
Not shuffleboard.
It's not shuffleboard. It is.
Shuffleboard come back to you? No, shuffleboard
you just go straight down.
Get to the end.
This one you actually bounce it off of 2 rubber bands.
Yeah.
Then you probably saw it because we bought it at the gathering.
Yeah, we did.
A couple, 2-3 years ago.
Yeah. Is our stack done?
No, we have one more.
One more in the stack.
Theros from Spielworks.
I would love it. It looks cool.
We played it during Cabin Con. Is this a review? I don't know if it's. I don't think
not.
So in Theros, you have a 4x4 grid of randomly placed lands. I mean, they're just different colors of cards, basically. Yeah. And we're going to start up in land A1, up in the upper left-hand corner. Go across, deal with some scoring. Do the same for B and C and D. Basically, You've got bad guys coming after you, and if you don't defend against the bad guys individually, then you will take some sort of penalty. Basically, you are mining this area called Theros, placing mines and exploring the region. And thematically, it doesn't work. Let's talk a little bit about what does work. This is dice bag building. I love dice bag building, and that is all of the goodness of this game.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of neat ideas of what's going on in this game. Obviously, the bag building is good, but there's no way to cull dice from your bag, so that's obviously a thing on
Right.
it. The game is very slow.
Because you have to
It's
basically
very
do 16 rounds. On the box it says 75 minutes plus. I think there's a heavy emphasis on the plus. It took us what, 2.5, 3 hours to play?
it was a long
3
time to
hours.
get through the rules and
It
play.
really was.
So it overstayed its welcome.
Okay, so here's where things fall apart. You can draft dice from your bag in order to explore Theros. Yeah, that makes sense. You've got to go out and explore everything. When you get 4 contiguous areas that you've explored, you pull them all off and you get a couple, 2 or 3 points. It's not a lot.
Yeah.
And then they're not explored on the map anymore. What? They're not explored? I don't understand. But then there's another action where you can place a mine. Do you have to place a mine where you've explored before? No, you just place a mine wherever you want to put it.
It's fine.
And then every other mine has to go adjacent. But why really? Because you didn't have to explore it in the first place. So there's another mechanic where there are, on every one of the 16 cards, there is exactly 1 ore and exactly 1 crystal of those colors. Like if the card is blue, then there will be a blue crystal and a blue ore on that spot. Oh, hey, so what you're asking me is, hey, maybe I put a mine there and then I can mine that stuff. And I will tell you, no, you don't have to have a mine. You just take the action that lets you pop an ore right off the surface anywhere you want on the map. Doesn't have to be somewhere you explored. No, you just pop it from wherever you want.
It doesn't make any sense.
Off the map.
It does not make any sense.
Or a crystal anywhere you want off the map.
Like people weren't exploring, but they were collecting all the crystals or whatever.
Right. So there are these
much harder to explore, by the way.
There are these public buildings that you can get that will let you turn in 2 ore for a certain amount of points, or 2 crystal for a certain amount of points, or 3 or 4 or 5 crystals, or 2 of each for a certain amount of points. And they're 2 or 3 or 4 points. It's all low, very low scoring. Okay, great. That's great. I will go ahead and build this. 2 catches. 1, the crystals and ore do not regenerate anytime during the game unless by random chance a card comes up and makes it happen. And problem 2, you can never have 2 of the same color ore or crystal in your possession.
I think that's
Why?
actually a good rule, because I would have been destroyed even harder in that game if
Yeah, but they should not have limited it because of that. They should have let the things repopulate on the board.
I mean, I agree.
Why limit? The only thing you should limit it to a color is you need to have these 2 colors so you can pull them off the board. But after that point, it shouldn't be colored ores or crystals at all. You should be able to turn in 2 to get some points. Otherwise, it's just a slog to get 2 points.
Yeah, it shouldn't be 2 dice in order to explore.
It shouldn't.
In my opinion.
It was a slog to do anything in that game.
It was, though. I mean, it was.
I wanted to like it because I love dice bag
That's why
building.
I thought it looked cool, because there's dice, and I'm like, okay, bag building.
I mean, look, it looks.
I was like all in on this being really cool, but
it looks like a lot of fun.
Wasn't as cool as I wanted it to be.
We really wanted this to work.
Yeah.
But thematically it did not work. You don't have to explore the mine. You don't have to have a mine to actually mine ore and crystal. It's like they pasted on a theme that really didn't match what they wanted, or they changed the mechanics as they were doing the game, you're like, oh, okay, let's not make them have to have a mind. Let's not make them have to explore first. Well, then what's the point? You're
Yeah.
just, you're victory point gathering. And that's how I felt after this was done.
Yeah.
And it's too bad.
That's what it was.
And that's what it was. So ultimately, it
It was
was a
a
disappointment.
unfortunately. I had high hopes.
Anyway,
That's
that's
all
all we have.
for now. I'm sure there are more.
An hour and 20 minutes worth of games that we will not stream, but we enjoy bringing these to you. So, hey, one of these things that didn't work for us, maybe it works for you guys.
For sure.
You
Tell
know,
us if you like one of those.
absolutely. And some
Comments.
of you have in the chat over here,
Yeah, but if
which
you're
is
watching
great.
After Fact on YouTube,
Then
make
they're
sure
down
to
there.
subscribe. Follow us over on Twitch at Board Gamer Stuff.
Yep, twitch.tv/BoardGamerStuff. We stream every Wednesday and Sunday nights at 5 p.m. Central, where we stream uh, full teaches and playthroughs of at least 3 games a night, unless we're doing something special like our monthly top 10s or yearly top however many.
Yeah, whatever it is.
But yeah, come check us out over there.
Yeah.
And hang out with the chat with us. So
All right, we'll be right back on Twitch in a moment.